Hi guys, Jay Smith here. Look at that, new Mizuno box. Now, busy day for me because a bit later with the videos than would normally be. Mark, Rick, everyone else has got standard media sets. I've opted to be a little bit later on, but be the first, absolute first, to get the custom fit one. So today we're going to be looking at the MP20s and let's get to the range and see which video we do first.
Okay, we're outside now in the outdoor teaching bay. I've got the MP20 MMC pitching wedge in my hand. I've got the 7-iron, 5-iron as well. The reason I've got 5-iron rather than 4 is because I'm going to be doing some content on blending, and 4-iron for me is sort of like borderline functional, so I've got the 4 in the HMB. Yeah, we'll get to that one later on. Anyway, so when it comes to the MMC, let's go pop into the studio quickly, just have a look at what makes this so special, and then have a quick look at there and we'll pop back out and we'll hit some balls out here, see how soft this one is compared to the blade.
Okay, the MP20 MMC. Out of all the range of Mizuno, this is the iron with the busiest back to it. It's got the most going on. You've also obviously got the 1025E, so we've got the, if we pop over to transition there so you can see what Mizuno would like us to talk about. Basically, just go from top to bottom. Grain flow forged, HD forged. Basically, mean when you put this in a mold, a normal mold of old school, would be a case of single piece of metal, stamp it into shape, and the edges would squidge out a bit. Mizuno have designed a process where they can contain that squidge and then effectively make a bit more of a denser forging. You've got multi-material construction, you can see. So when it comes to these, they've all got titanium. So between pitch and wedge, all the way through, you've all got titanium. They're not all got tungsten in them though. So if I can find the, if I can go transition to here, you can see there that they've all got the 1025E chassis. But between 4 and 7-iron, you've got the 12 grams of titanium, that shiny little wonder there. But we've also got 12 grams of tungsten. Now that 12 grams of tungsten used to be whacked on the toe. It's not anymore. It's underneath all the chrome, but it's put in at 45 degrees because that's the fact. They've found a way they can put it at 45 degrees, allow to control trajectories and make it a bit more effective. And then the 8 to pitch wedge, you've only got the 10.5 grams of titanium. But yeah, there we go. Let's get rid of that one and go back to the summary. Get my head out there. Forged titanium muscle. Provides solid feel and impact sound while increasing MOI. Basically, when you've got all that gubbins there, that weighs less than the tungsten. So to try and keep the head weight the same, they've got to try and use the titanium to decrease the weight in certain areas, because obviously they're utilising tungsten, which is heavier, to add as much MOI to the club as possible. Bear in mind, it is still a very, very small club. Tungsten sole weighted, lower SS for higher launch. I don't know what SS means, but I think that means another word for centre of gravity, because obviously pushing tungsten low in the sole, which effectively pushes the CG lower, which increases launch. When it comes to the 8 to pitch and wedge, we haven't got that tungsten. You've got so much loft, you don't have to worry about launch. So we're worried about, when it comes to an 8 to a pitching wedge, of controlling trajectory. So hence the reason why it hasn't got it in there. This has got all the copper underlay. So the same as the blade, this has got all the copper in and around 4 microns thick. Very, very convoluted and complicated process, but well done for Mizuno for doing that. And then as the blade, this has got the same satin and mirror-chrome combo. So satin there, chromey there. So that looks lovely. In the lights, these will shine and look gorgeous. Yeah, when you're playing golf, and apart from obviously these little bits here, which are chrome, but the face, satin. Well, saying chrome, it's a brushed chrome satin, so it won't glare as much. Anyway, so that's with the tech involved in these. Let's go outside in the outdoor teaching bay now. Let's go hit some and see how it feels.
Okay, back outside. Let's go hit some balls. Right, quad on the floor. I've got the FSX software mobile, so I can screen record, so you can have it on there as well, so you can see where it's going. let's go see how the MMC with all that titanium and tungsten, although there's no tungsten in this one, pitching wedge, it kind of flows itself out, but lots of tech involved in these. Same kind of head shape when it comes to pitching wedge, exactly the same for the MP20 range. It's like the front edge is fairly straight, it's got a tiny curve to it. I mean, the top line's getting a bit thicker and the sole is marginally wider than the blade, but it's still got the classic lines of the old MP20. It's just obviously that dirty great big piece of shiny titanium at the back. Never actually been a massive fan of the MMC personally, because I've never needed it. So to me, yeah, I understand why it's there, and certain people have gained from it, but yeah, spoils the looks what I like, because I love the blade. Anyway, let's go hit this one. 3 shots with this, so we won't mess about too much. We've got the 705 to test. Yeah, felt nice. There's a very slight difference between that and the blade. Very, very slight difference between that and the blade. I just say it's clickier. I don't know, it's hard to say. It's harder to say with a pitching wedge anyway, because you've got so much loft involved, but from the point of view of feel, it felt very, very nice. If I hadn't have hit the blade first, I'd have felt that would definitely feel lovely, but I'm kind of being spoiled. I have another one. Again, my arm just caught the mic on that one. If you caught that one on camera, apologies, but it wasn't struck as good. It seemed to fly as good, if not better. Feel wise, again, let's take it away from the blade. Feels fine. I say fine, that's the wrong word, because it feels lovely really, but I'm being spoiled by the blade first. Never do the blade first, ever. Let's do like the HMB. Should have done the HMB first, shouldn't I really? Then the MMC, and then being spoiled, but yeah, doesn't matter. Last one, let's go hit. I do like that head shape though, because that's going to flow with the T20 wedges somewhat lovely. Because between the S18s and the MP18s, there was a little bit of a it didn't flow brilliantly when you went from the pitching wedge into a, say, a 50 for the S18s, but these all flowed nicely. Right, last one. Oh, skank one. That'd be interesting how you see that one on the old doodah. That was not hit well. That was very low on the face. Be interesting to see how far. Oh, okay. Yeah, you can see the difference in dynamic there. But I mean, considering that was very good. Now, if I'd have hit that in the blade, that same strike, I think it was at 19mm low or something or other. That's very low on the face. I skanked that one out the bottom groove. And I tell you what, though. It'd be interesting to see about the MMC, how much more forgiving it is. I need to go hit this a load of times with the 7 and 5 and all that lot to see how forgiving all of these are, but that's encouraging. But let's go swap over to the 7, see how that feels. Obviously this got loads of loft, so you're not quite going to get the pure feeling from the copper that's in there. You get that as the loft starts getting a little bit decreased. But let's swap over to the 7, hit that only a couple of times, see how that looks and feels. Okay, now I've got the 7. Here's the 7. Double checking. Right. I'll get the lofts down here so you can see, because there is a slight loft difference between the MMC and the blade, and also the HMB. Do that one later on. Apart from the top line getting a bit thicker, and I'm talking it's marginal from that and the blade, if you were just to sort of just put this club in my hand, apart from that top line, you'd think it was the blade. It may be marginally longer. Hang on a second, let's cheat. I've got the blade here. Oh yeah, it does. Okay, yeah. The blade with that thinner top line does, yeah, it does look smaller. Okay, yeah, there is a slightly smaller footprint, looks wise. Get a ruler out, measure yourself, but it does look slightly different. Anyway, let's go see how it feels. We started to get tungsten in the toe on this one. I think it was on the 7 iron. We had a little chat about that one earlier. I can feel just interesting feeling between that and the blade. I'm feeling more weight in the toe. It's because of the tungsten, but it just feels weighty. It's an interesting idea, that one. Anyway, let's go give it a hit. Oh well, there's a leaker. Well, it's a good shot, but it's a little leaker. That's going to bite the edge. So you take it. It's absolutely fine to take it. Yeah, it's a little bit open. A couple of degrees or so open, so there you go. That's what you're going to get. That's me. That's nothing to do with the club whatsoever. Before the people turn around and say, oh, it's the tungsten and the toes stopping it from releasing. Yeah, it's like 8 grams or so, 12 grams, or not a lot. It's a stop for basically when people hit out towards the toe, is to help that. Now, I do have a tendency to touch towards the toe on the odd occasion, shall we say. That's my general strike pattern. Fairly vertically good, but if I'm laterally towards the toe. But yeah, so that's a little bit of a leaker. Let's see if we can get this one a little bit better. Oh, okay, that's ripped. That's going straight over that pin. There's not a lot of wind out here today, I'll tell you what. That's... Ooh. Right, feel-wise, lovely. Is it as nice as the blade? I would have to argue and say no. The implementation of the tungsten and the titanium has taken away from the feel very slightly. But I tell you, if you'd have blind tested me, I probably wouldn't. That's a different test for a different time. I'm talking the change is so marginal. It feels gorgeous. If I hadn't hit the blade, I'd probably say that was the nicest feeling iron I've hit this year. Until I hit the blade. So anyway, 5 iron time. Okay. Got the 5. Now, loft, there is a difference between that and the blade. We've already put them up there. This normally goes the old classic for me, so I'm expecting this to leak very, very slightly. But yeah, okay, down by the ball, the looks again, the top line. Do you know what? The top line in the 5 iron, whether it's because the shaft is getting longer, the top line looks thinner. It's going to be the same size basically as a 7. It's just a case I think it's looking thinner because it's further away. Because shafts get longer, unfortunately. They have to for launch purposes. But anyway, let's go hit this one because the shape of the head is lovely. Let's see how it feels when you take so much loft off. It has that classic little baby fade. Oh, this feels nice though. Can I feel the... It's so marginal. It's absolutely so marginal. I mean, they are the nicest feeling irons I've hit this year, without question. It's just that I shouldn't have hit the blade first. Should not have hit that blade first. Go on, let's see if we can get this one a little bit straight, because that was the old classic leaker. See if I can get it going a little bit more straight. That's got a chance. Caught it slightly high in the face if I had to guess. Maybe 3 or 4 mil. But straight at it. Straight at it. It's a nice shot, nice fit. I like it. Even from slightly high on the face. Oh, Mizuno, Mizuno, Mizuno. They're giving me choices, the problem. I was kind of hoping that, well, I hit the blade first and I thought, right, I'm set on those. Now I've hit the MMC. I'd still go with the blade for feel, if I was absolutely completely honest. But, I mean, that for a multi-material construction club, with that copper inside, it's the copper. The introduction of the copper this year, I cannot stress enough how much difference that copper has made. When it comes to equipment changes, I'm not a great fan of people saying, well, I've got last year's equipment, should I change? Well, generally speaking, in one generation, the amount that you gain from it is tiny, to the point where the human's the biggest equation in hitting it well or not. But Mizuno, from the MP18 to the MP20, with that inclusion of that copper, I cannot stress enough just how lovely they feel. Let's go hit this with my Game Ball Vice Pro. Let's see how a premium ball actually performs. Obviously the lofts are slightly different. They're very, very much slightly stronger, like a couple of degrees stronger. We will make a difference when it comes to the distance. We know the feel, but let's go and see how it really performs.
Okay guys, it's numbers time. I've hit a bunch of shots, loads and loads and loads of shots. As you can see on the screen there, it just scrolls. I've just hit loads and loads so I can get as big a data set as I can, just to test how forgiving, shall we say, these things are. They're very, very close to blades, so it'll be interesting to see how forgiving they actually are. Right, okay, so we've got an average ball speed of 96.9. This is a pitching wedge we're hitting, remember. So 46 degrees is not going to be anything extravagant. Basically what I'm looking at 46 degrees with something like this is consistency more than anything else, subject to me. So launching at 26.3, little is basically straight, 0.3 to the left is that, I can't quite see. And then 9,1 spin, 75, it's like just dead straight. 51 degrees descent angle, nice and healthy with 9,100 spin, that is stopping. Just offline, 31 yards peak height, 123. Now, if you look at the consistency though of all the shots, I had one there going 126, a couple there going 126, and then I dropped down to 120. I mean, 6 yards. I mean, that's exceptionally good. So, I mean, it's ticking the boxes when it comes to if you're a decent swinger, a decent striker of the golf ball. These are going to deliver consistent results all the time. Let's go for club data, and I'll go with the pitching wedge. So if we can flick that across, there we go. I'll need to get my head out of the way a little bit here, but anyway, club speed average 86.1. You got the efficiency there depending on my strike, face to path, etc. You can see that they change around a little bit. Average hitting down 5.8 degrees, 1.1 for the inside, 1.7 closed with 1 degree toe down. He is a custom fit, but then again, obviously remember I'm a human being, so I don't deliver exactly the same handle height all the time. One day it'll be slightly higher than less and stuff like that. So delivering loft to 39.1, remember 46 degrees, I'm averaging 7 degrees of downward lofting, de-lofting. 3mm toe, 7mm low. So I am, for some reason, I do like hitting the old wedges and everything on the low side, 3mm toe, but you can see the strikes there. You can see I don't hit 0-0 every single time. I don't even hit once if you look at it there. I mean, you can see there's a few that I got close, but I'm always misstriking very, very slightly because people will do. They're not robots, we're human beings, but that's what you've got all the tech in there to do. Now obviously pitching wedge, we've got no tungsten, so to go into tungsten time we have to see if we can go into that one. There you go, look at that. Okay, so average ball speed of 117.6, now starting to get up when you've got lofts in the 32 degree mark for a 7-iron, 2 degrees stronger than the blade, remember. Launched at 18.7, and I like the baby tiny fades. 6-2 spin, remember this is a 7-iron but slightly 2 degrees de-lofted 7-iron, so spinning at 6.2, that is actually quite healthy. Descending at 47.6 degrees, it's past that magic 45 number, which I always like to get to because that's going to be coming into the green and stopping through descent angle alone. You don't have to worry about spin when it comes to that. When it comes to a pitching wedge or 58 degree, anything else like that, spin's going to stop it definitely. When it comes to these longer clubs now, the thing that's going to be stopping these into the green is descent angle. It's just slightly to the right offline, but you can see that I move around a little bit considering I'm not hitting too bad whatsoever. Peak height of 33 and 165 total. So slightly longer than the blade, yes, but it is 2 degrees stronger, remember. So if we try, if we can do, to transition over to, there you go, club data. If I was to, I think I've got to move that across as well, because I think it's just slightly out of frame. There we go, go again. So 92.1, that's my average speed. Now I always hover around about the 92, 93 mark. You see my efficiency there jumps up and down depending on what kind of shot I hit and how well I strike it. 5.2 downward attack angle, 0.5 into out. But again, look, I mean, I'm quite consistent when it comes to the path. My face to path moves around a little bit, but considering it's quite consistent, again, lie 1 degree. I'm just slightly out today, raising the handle a little bit more than normal. 3mm toe, 5mm low. Again, I do like hitting it low on these, but remember this has got the tungsten in it. So from 7-iron up through to whatever wedge, for 3-iron, sorry, or 4-iron, whatever it would be, it's got that tungsten in it to help. So we'll be seeing added benefit from me hitting slightly lower. So if you do your mapping when it comes to your custom fits and you do see your strike potentially go a bit lower, an MMC might be an idea for you. Remember, you've got your tungsten in there for your toe strikes as well. Right, let's do ball data for the 5-iron. Now we're getting crazy. Right, average 130 miles an hour. We're now starting to get de-lofted now because we're only talking in the 20s degrees, not up into the 30s. So 15-1 launch, little baby left with little baby right, classic me when it comes to a 5-iron, little baby fades. 4-8 spin. Now that is very, very 4-8-50. Now this will be a 5-iron, so you're talking anything that spins up at 5,000, near 5,000 RPM. Bear in mind these are slightly stronger lofts, so very, very marginally, and you can bend them to blend them. But yeah, But look, descending at 45.7 degrees, bang on line, basically 34 up in the air and 191 carry. Again, longer than the blade, but it is slightly stronger in that sense, if you remember that. What I'm encouraged at is this, being the 5-iron, got the 7-iron in my hand, got the 5-iron down there, but being the 5-iron, is descending at 45.7. That is just now functional. I don't want to go any past that. So if I went to a 4 in this, it wouldn't work. It would be going into the green less than 45 degrees and it'd be hitting into the ground and skipping and bouncing and rolling, not necessarily stopping where I want it to. So for me, in this set, how I hit the MP20 MMC in the 5 is the most effective club. If I wanted to go to a 4, I would have to then look potentially at the HMB, which is the video I'm going to do next. So on the whole, let's go back to little old me over here. On the whole, conclusion wise, this is a great little tool if you have slight strike issues. You've got certain strike issues when it comes to obviously low strikes, which I have been doing today. I'm not normally someone who gravitates low on the face. I'm more sort of toe, but again, we're human beings. Lovely feel of the copper. If I hadn't have hit the blade first, it would have been contender for one of the nicest feeling clubs of this year. But I've been spoilt myself and I've hit the blade first. But yeah, it's a lovely feeling club, lovely looking club, blended seamlessly with all the other irons as well. So if you're going to have a look, go get custom fit. Make sure you get custom fit, because you want to make sure you get the most out of the MP20 range, because they've all got different positives and negatives for different type of people. So hope you liked the video. If you did, click that like button below. Comment below as well, anything you like to put. I try and answer as many comments as I can. Down the bottom there, little red button, subscribe, click that. Also near the subscribe button, there's a little bell icon. Ding that bell, because that'll let you know when I upload another piece of content, whether it be a video talking about these or anything else, go live stream or it'll be. So yeah, hope you liked it. Comment below and we'll see you again soon.